श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिन्निधि नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी भाष्यादेशधारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Hare Krishna. Thank you everyone for joining. So we'll continue to read from Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th canto, and chapter number 10, text number 23. Shri Shuka Vacha eva muktva sadevarshirgato narayana nalkuvara maningrivo asatur yamalarjuna. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Shukdev Goswami continued, having spoken, the great saint Devarshi Narada returned to his ashram, known as Narayana Ashram, and Nalkovar and Manigriva became twin Arjuna trees. Purport. Arjuna trees are still found in many forests, and their skin is used by cardiologists to prepare medicine for heart trouble. This means that even though they're trees, they're disturbed when skinned for medical science. Okay. Next. विषयर्भागवता मुख्यस्य सत्यं कर्तुं वचो हरिः जगामाशनकस्तत्र यत्रास्तां Yamalarjana. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, to fulfill the truthfulness of the words of the greatest devotee Narada, slowly went to that spot where the twin Arjuna trees were standing. Okay, so those who doesn't know what is this context going on. So here it was a Damodar Leela. Krishna was bound by Mother Yashoda, and then Mother Yashoda went inside, got busy with her work, and then Krishna was tired, and suddenly he glanced over those two trees, which was standing in the courtyard of Nanda Maharaj. And then there was a story behind who are those two trees. So that was we are discussing that they were the two sons of Kuvera, Nalkuvar and Manigriv, and they became too proud and intoxicated by their opulence, and they kind of offended Narad Muni. And then Narad Muni took compassion on them. To help them, he cursed them to become the trees. So this is how these two trees were standing in the courtyard of Nanda Maharaj. They're called the Yamala Arjuna tree. And now coming back to this, that Krishna remembers. Krishna remembered that Narad Muni has given them the curse. Along with the curse, he has given the benediction also. What was the benediction? We discussed yesterday. The benediction was that after 100 years of the curse, they will get to see the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Sri Krishna, face to face. So now Krishna remembered that Narad Muni has given this benediction to fulfill uh, his words or fulfill the truthfulness of the words of one of the great devotee Narad Muni. Krishna thought, okay, I had to deliver them now. So slowly Krishna still is tied with that grinding mortar, wooden grinding mortar. But then he started dragging that grinding mortar right there and going towards the trees where they are standing. Devarshi me priyatamo yad imo dhanadaatmajo tattatha sadayishyami yad geetam dhan mahatmana. Although these two young men are the sons of very rich Kuvera, I have nothing to do with them. Devarshi Narad is my very dear and affectionate devotee, and therefore, because he wanted me to come face to face with them, I must do so for their deliverance. See the two important things. Krishna is saying basically, Krishna is thinking here that the two sons, Nalkuvar and Manigriva, though they come from a very aristocratic background, very rich, son of the rich father, Kuber, but Krishna is not interested in all of those material opulences. What is his interest? His devotee, Narad, who is very, very dear and affectionate devotee, he wanted Krishna to give them the darshan face to face. So to fulfill his devotee's words, must do so for their deliverance. So Krishna is not interested in any kind of materialistic opulences. He is interested only in his devotees. Because with the devotion only one can conquer, one can win the heart of Krishna. That is the important point to understand. Purport. Nalkovar and Manigriva. actually had nothing to do with devotional service or seeing the Supreme Personality of Godhead face to face. For this is not an ordinary opportunity. It is not that because one is very rich or learned or was born in an aristocratic, ari- aristocratic family, one will be able to see the Supreme Personality of Godhead face to face. This is impossible. But in this case, because Narad Muni desired that Nalkuvar and Manigriva see Vasudeva face to face, the Supreme Personality of Godhead wanted to fulfill the words of his very dear devotee Narad Muni. If one sees the favor of a devotee instead of directly asking favors from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one is very easily successful. Srila Bhaktivinoda Tagore has therefore recommended Vaishnava Tagore Tomara Kukura Bhuliya Jana More Krishna se Tomara Krishna Dite Paro. One should desire to become like a dog in strictly following a devotee. See, these are the kind of expressions that's been used in the scriptures. Like a faithful dog is generally very faithful, so he just follow his master. So in the same way, a devotee should just follow the Vaishnava, their teachers, their senior Vaishnavas, authorities. If we do that, then that is the qualification. Otherwise, nothing can really make us qualify to see Krishna face to face. So if you want to receive the mercy of Krishna, the mercy comes through the devotee of Krishna. So that is what is coming here. That how the Nalkuvar and Manigriv they got the mercy of Krishna because they get the blessings of Narad Muni. So Prabhupada is quoting from the Bhaktivinoda Thakur, one of the Acharya and the Vaishnava, Gaudiya Vaishnava line. So they're saying that Krishna se tomara Krishna de baro. How is glorifying? O devotee, O Vaishnava, Krishna se tomara. Krishna is your property. Krishna is the property of the devotee. Krishna dite paro. Something belongs to you, you can give to others. So Krishna belongs to the devotees, Vaishnavas. They carry Krishna in their heart. Then they can give Krishna to others also. So this is the best way to get the blessings of Krishna by beseeching the blessings of a devotee, following in the footsteps of devotee, like a dog. Dog means he is like very faithfully, very strictly follows. Krishna is in the hand of a devotee. Adurlavam Atma Bhaktau. Thus, without the favor of a devotee, one cannot directly approach Krishna or to speak of engaging in his service. Narottam Das Thakur therefore sings, Chadiya Vaishnava Seva Nistar Paya Chakeba. Unless one becomes a servant of a pure devotee, one cannot be delivered from the material condition of life. In our Gaudiya Vaishnava society, following in the footsteps of Rupa Goswami, first business is to seek shelter of a bona fide spiritual master, Adav Guru Ashraya. So this is the first step on the path on the journey of spiritual progression. First step is Adav Guru Ashraya. Take the shelter of a bona fide guru, a pure devotee, a Mahabhagavata, a Vaishnava, and then only your doors towards Krishna will open. Okay. Iti ante antarenarjunya ho Krishna do yamayoryayo atmanirveshamatrena tiryagatam olukhalam. Having thus spoken, Krishna soon entered between the two Arjuna trees, and thus the big mortar to which he was bound turned crosswise and stuck between them. Now you can just make create imagine that how Krishna as a small baby he is still bound with the grinding mortar. He's dragging somehow, pulling that, and this it fell down and it became like crosswise, and then it got stuck between the two trees. And Krishna, small baby, is trying to pull his. So this is the scene now. Balena niskarsyat navag ulukalam tad damodarena darshot kali tangri bandho nispetatu Paramavikramit Skanda Pravala Vitapau Kritichanda Sabdo. By dragging behind him with great force the wooden mortar tied to his belly, the boy Krishna uprooted the two trees. By the great strength of the Supreme Person, the two trees, with their trunks, leaves, and branches, trembled severely and fell to the ground with a great crash. Purport. This is the pastime of Krishna known as Damodar Leela. Therefore, another of Krishna's name is Damodar, as stated in Harivamsa. Sachateneva namnatu Krishno vai Damabandhanat Gosthe Damodar iti Gopibhi Parigiyate. So Krishna Damodar Leela is going on, though he is bound, but he is dragging grinding water and with a force, small baby, and with that force he just crashed the two big humongous trees on the ground. तत्र श्रिया परमया ककुभा स्फुरन्तौ सिद्धौ पेत्य कुजयोरिव जातवेदः कृष्णं प्रणम्य शिरसा किल लोकनाथं बद्धाञ्जलि विरजसौ इदम् उचातु स्म. Thereafter, in that very place where the two Arjuna trees had fallen, two great perfect personalities who appeared like fire personified came out of the two trees, the effulgence of their beauty illuminating all direction. With bowed heads, they offered obeisances to Krishna, and with hands folded, they spoke the following words. So, who are these two personalities? They are the two sons of Kuvera. So, they got delivered now. They became tree, and for last 100 years, they have been in the body of a tree. Now, Krishna delivered them by crashing those trees on the ground. And now, these two effulgent, fire like personalities they came out and they offered their obeisances, and with the folded hands, they offered their prayers. What did they say? Krishna Krishna Mahayogim Tvamadhya Purusha Para Vyakta Vyaktam Idam Vishwam Rupam De Brahmana Viduhu. So this is how they are praying. Krishna Krishna Mahayogims. O Lord Krishna, your opulent mysticism is inconceivable. He is Mahayogi. You are the supreme, original person, the cause of all causes. Tvam Adya Purusha Para. You are Adya Purusha. Adi Purush means the original person, the first person. Purusha Para, Adya Purusha Para, the cause of all causes. Immediate and remote. He, Krishna, is Sarvakaran Karanam. And you are beyond this material creation. Vyaktam, Vyaktam, Idam Vishwam. Krishna is beyond this material creation. He does not come under the law of this material nature. So he is beyond this material creation. Learned Brahmanas know on the basis of the Vedic statement, Sarvam Khalu Idam Brahma, that you are everything and that this cosmic manifestation in its gross and subtle aspects is your form. So all those who are scholars, they understand what is Krishna's form. Even this entire creation is also coming from Krishna. It is also Krishna's form only. Purport. The two demigods, Nalkova and Manigriva, because of their continuing memory, could understand the supremacy of Krishna by the grace of Narad. Now they admitted that we should be delivered by the blessings of Narad Muni. Mm. We should be delivered by the blessings of the Narad Muni. Was all your plan. Therefore, you are the supreme mystic. Everything past, present, and future is known to you. Your plan was made so nicely that although we stayed here as two in Arjuna trees, you have appeared as a small boy to deliver us. This was all your inconceivable arrangement because you are the supreme person. You can do everything. So, like that, they are glorifying. The further says, you are the supreme personality of Godhead, the controller of everything, the body, life, ego, and senses of every living entity are your own self. You are the supreme person, Vishnu, the imperishable controller. You are the time factor, the immediate cause, and you are material nature, consisting of the three modes passion, goodness, and ignorance. You are the original cause of this material manifestation. You are the super soul, and therefore you know everything within the core of the heart of every living entity. Sripad Madhvacharya has quoted from the Vaman Purana as follows: Rupyatvat tu jagadrupam Vishnu Sakshat Sukhatmakam Nityapurnam Samuddishtam Swarupam Paramatmanaha. So, like that, they are glorifying, they came to the senses, and ultimately the Krishna, and it was all Krishna's plan, and such a beautiful plan that Krishna uh, has made the plan through Narad Muni to deliver us, and they'll continue to offer the prayer. Some beautiful prayers, some beautiful verses will come in the prayer, so we shall read that. Okay, so for today, I think we'll stop here.
Prabhu, there is a question, Prabhu.
Okay, I'll just read the question. Hare Krishna Prabhuji, so we have read that presence of soul is perceived through its consciousness. So here Narad Muni is telling that trees are generally not conscious, but trees also have souls in them, right? So how to understand this, Prabhu? Okay, so we say that when there is a soul, there is a consciousness, but here something is said like there is no consciousness. So question is there any consciousness in the trees or not? Answer is yes, there is a consciousness in the trees because trees are also the living entity. There is a soul, but trees' consciousness is in the avrata stage. They're in a very covered state. So their consciousness is not awakened much. There is a consciousness, but it is very covered consciousness. So there is a different level of consciousness we discussed in one of the sessions. So the lowest consciousness is called the avrata, which is the covered consciousness, which is found in the trees. The next level consciousness is found in the animals. They're a little more awakened, but still it is not very refined. And then the human beings, and then the devotees. And the highest consciousness is a devotee who has become completely purified. That is the highest consciousness. So, yes, in the trees also there is a consciousness, but it is in a very covered state. So, it is almost equal to like as if there's no consciousness, like that. Okay. So, we'll start with this. Thank you everyone for joining, and we'll continue to read more.